national cathedral, which is supposed to be building national coherence, bringing some sort of tendencies of division, if I could put it that way. Just last week here on the polls, last year I should say, and a group equally emerged asking for the establishment of a national shrine. The believers were radicalizing some groups in the country, religious groups especially, to take extreme decisions, to be at the very extreme of the sides of the coin. I mean, what's your take on that fear that continuous funding, government funding for this project could be detrimental to national coherence?
Well, let me begin from the fact that there are people who are opposing it. And I'd like to challenge all of us to show me one project in this country that has not been opposed. Even Jubilee House. I heard a politician in the media saying that it was not necessary and that once he comes to power, they will turn it into a hospital and so on. Every single project that is conceived by any government, there is opposition against it. How do we expect this country to develop? Even roads. I have heard politicians say we don't eat roads, even roads. So I don't like to join the cacophony of voices that simply oppose things for opposition's sake. If people think that they need a national shrine, let them ask for it. That's their right. But this particular government, led by a particular individual, has decided that he would give this country a national cathedral.
But Prof, let me be hypothetical here. What would be your reaction? And apologies for cutting through. What would be your reaction if the president decides now to equally give seed funding for the construction of a national shrine? In a time of austerity, of course.
We have always been in austerity. Let us get to the bridge of national shrine and let's cross it. Unlike, say, Catholicism or Protestantism, we don't have a single voice for African traditional religion. We simply don't have it. So let's get to that bridge and cross it. My point is that let's focus the argument on the merits and demerits of the cathedral. We live in this country, and people spend money and resources to go on tourism, to pay money in Israel. Since the Washington Bible Museum opened, there have been many people traveling across the world to visit that place, and they come with glorious tributes. As far as I have come to understand it, the National Cathedral is not simply a place of worship. I have been consulted on the academic side of the cathedral, where we are going to have a project that deals with the history of religion in this country, and where we are going to have artifacts belonging to missionaries stored. That is an academic project that we can all benefit from. So my point is, if the people in charge of the project have not sold it properly to the public, that's another matter. But don't let us throw the baby away with the bath water. Let's ask ourselves, is there anything, at least for tourism purposes, that we can secure from building this cathedral? If yes, then let's go ahead. If no, let's drop it.
The church...
Go ahead.
The church appears to even be divided on this matter. I'm not too familiar with the exact scriptures, but some clergymen referring to the requirements of scriptures when it comes to the construction of a national cathedral. They talk about the fact that it must be done with integrity. You've heard some of these scriptures being referred to, not just by the clergymen, even by some members of parliament. You're a theologian as well, so you understand the scriptures. What does the Bible say? What does that holy book say about the construction of cathedrals such as this project?
Well, I'm not aware that there's anything called a national cathedral in the Bible.
In the Bible, right? Okay.
What I'm aware of is that David attempted to build a temple for God. And eventually he couldn't do it. So his son Solomon was put in charge of the project. But interestingly, David had been able to mobilize the resources that were needed for the project. And the resources were mobilized from the people, those who were interested in contributing to it. And David himself was so amazed that he praised and thanked God that out of their free will, people had contributed to the project. So that's why I say that let those who are in charge of the project market it properly and let people who believe in it contribute to it. I have not heard that anybody is being forced to contribute to it. But my point is that I need those who are criticizing it to provide me concrete proof that there has been malfeasance. And some of us will be the first people to challenge the government on its record. But simply to come in the media and say that the thing is not good and then malfeasance and so on, I don't think parliamentarians should argue like that.